If you haven't seen those videos,
You need to.
yeah. ASAP.
Pause right now, go to YouTube, type in, what would they have to type in?
Yeah, just type in Pentagon UFO videos. It's literally crazy. Mac and Cheese Show. Here we are.
Episode
Welcome.
2. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is my house, so I am having you on every episode, I suppose.
I mean, yes, but okay, that's one way to put it.
You had nothing to say. You knew I was right.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, thank you for, again, having me over and kind of invited myself, but...
Absolutely. And anytime.
Episode 2, the Mac and Cheese Show.
Episode 2. We've
With
Lance,
Lance.
this episode we finally got ourselves a master audio engineer behind the camera there. One of these days, once we really get this together, we're going to get a camera and a mic on him so that he can be involved a little bit more. But for now, he is behind the camera. He will talk if he feels the urge, and you may be able to hear him. Hopefully you can. I hope you can. He has some good things to say.
He has some great things to say. Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you, Lance, again, for helping us out.
And this is Luke.
This is Mason. You're on the Mac and Cheese Show.
Absolutely. So, to start today's episode off, I figured I would start you with a question just about your recent school encounters.
Hit me.
You could say summer classes. How's that been going during quarantine and amidst a civil rights movement and
Amidst a shit of a year, as you should say.
You could say.
It's
turn of the decade.
It's gone. I mean, I'm now officially done. We know that finals have passed, and we are all
Passed all your
through.
finals.
Thank
Congratulations.
God we made it. The whole process, the whole entire process, though, was not the great. Like, I don't know. I speak for myself, and I'm sure I speak for more people as well. But online classes are terrible.
Right.
Especially like learning like math and numbers and stuff, where you need to like physically see the examples. It's just insanely complicated to watch 3 hours of lecture a day.
Well, you did some classes last summer, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, those were all in person.
So those were in person. That's what I was gonna ask. Like, how is it like different? Like being like this summer versus last. Like, what are the differences? Because I assume it's like completely online now. Versus I didn't even know I thought last year was online as well.
No, last year was all in person. It was just like another semester, but it was like more calm because no one was on campus. It was just all the engineers doing their thing, and like this summer, it just felt like I took a Phoenix institution online summer engineering class.
Yeah.
Not even through my
So is it
school.
like the same online type of stuff that you were doing at the end of last semester?
To what my friends were doing, yeah. Because I was on an internship.
Oh,
My
that's
internship
right.
got moved to online as well.
Okay. That was probably weird too. having
Working
your
from
job-
home
a
is
job being
terrible.
online.
I fully understand like all the adults and parents out there who like are struggling to work from home.
Right.
It is terrible.
Yeah, that's like that. I mean, I can't imagine there's some jobs that like you have to continue you have to continue doing, but like you don't have that's the whole online thing, in my opinion, is like so like two-sided. Like you have one side, like it's amazing that we're even able to do that. The fact that so many people are able to continue doing their jobs online is like 20 years ago that would never have been possible. But
Not
like,
at
the
all.
fact that that's possible is kind of amazing. But a lot of the jobs that are being done online now it's just so much more difficult.
Entirely.
What were you actually doing online versus what you were doing in
Versus
during
in
your-
class?
at work. I mean, during your internship.
Oh, that-
how was that different? I bet. 'Cause
Online was like they put it all to where it's on the student's fault and it's on the student to learn the material. Like all my teachers didn't have live classes; they just put the videos up and they said watch them or
That
you
was for
probably won't
class.
pass the class. Yeah, but when working online, there's scheduled meetings you got to be at. Like
Right.
you're actually waking up and being sort of a functional person of society. With online classes, you can stay up till 4 a.m.
Right.
in class and.
So with the online job though, do you have to is it like going to a regular job? Like you have to get up at a certain time?
Oh,
and do certain
100%. Like, you got to look professional from the waist up, because that's where the
stuff?
webcam's
Oh, so you're
at.
actually going
Yeah, like, it's in-person webcam meetings, like, and I'm the
Every
intern at, every
every
Tuesday and
work day or
Thursday.
whatever.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I can't imagine doing that. Well, and it's there's a lot of other jobs too, that EMS workers, firefighters, like
they can't do their
restaurant
job
workers,
online.
Like
Yeah.
you can't do that stuff on like restaurants. Fucking, I don't know. I'm trying to think about
Restaurants, EMS,
teachers.
like
I mean, like like,
maintenance.
there's a lot of jobs you can't do online, and like I feel like they're the ones that have been affected the most by all this.
oh,
Like,
100%.
it's like the I can't remember the statistics, but I saw recently all the restaurant workers, like I think it's like 40% of them lost their jobs during this compared to
Oh yeah,
like
definitely,
I'm not sure
100%.
what the % of everyone else was that lost their jobs. So like 40% of restaurant workers across America lost their jobs, you know, and I don't know. Like I was a restaurant worker. I lost my job. But I don't like have to support a family. I don't have to. At the time, I wasn't having to like pay bills and pay rent. And
You also
stuff
lost
like
your job to like a corporate business. You lost your job to Papa John's.
that. No. I was working for Agave and Rye.
You lost that job?
Yeah, because I was working there and like we had to shut down. Like it was 2 months after we opened.
I thought it was when you're still living at your parents for a little bit.
I moved back.
I thought you
there
went to Papa.
No, because we were living on campus during like January and February.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yes,
then
that
I
is
was
right.
working at a
Yeah.
Gavin Rye, and out of the blue, like everything shut down, and like I had to move back home, and I like couldn't go to work.
I remember
or anything
that.
Like that, obviously.
I am back on track.
Yeah.
I got very confused with when you used to work at Papa John's.
Right, but still, like I mean, like a lot of the people I work with there have like they're like single mothers with kids, or like people in their mid-20s, like with families to support and stuff like that. And when you're expecting, like at that restaurant, it's a nice restaurant, so like there's some of those workers that's like their main source of income. They work every single day, like 6 days a week or whatever, making like $600-700 a week or something like that. So that's like a full-time income, because you're getting pretty decent money, especially for a serving job, and like that's enough to like support like a person or two, you know. And when you just lose that out of the blue, and that was your job, like you can't. Like a lot of those people aren't educated. Like they can't just like, you know, go get an engineering job or for a corporate company that you can do online or something like that. Like you just lose your livelihood, and then you have to rely on unemployment, which a lot of people I know personally, it took me 4 weeks or so. I think it was closer to like 5 or 6 actually for me to get my unemployment check after I requested it. And I requested it the first day that like, everything shut down, like immediately. And it took me that long to get anything. I started getting money, but like if I had like a fucking kid to support, like are you kidding me? Like I would be screwed. Like I wouldn't know what to do. Like, and if I didn't have like I'm fortunate enough to have like parents I can fall back on, obviously too. But like if I didn't have like parents that I was able to like, you know, have to support me,
It would have been
it's
not
like,
possible.
Someone in that situation, yeah, exactly. It's not possible to live like that. Like that's part of the reason I can understand why people are upset about shutdown, is because so many people are being put into that position. And they can't survive it. Like
100%.
literally, you cannot survive that. Like, obviously people do, but it's like, I mean, you're like struggling. I mean, these are people living paycheck to paycheck in the first place. Like,
they already probably got debt.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they already have debt. Like if I left school right now, I'd have like I don't know what exactly what it'd be. It'd be $200 to $400 a month in student loans, plus like rent, plus car insurance, plus health insurance, plus phone bills, plus like, you know, all that stuff. And if I have like a couple $1,000s saved up in the bank, that's only gonna last me like so long, which is the scary thing. Which I think that's the reason we reopened as early as we did, is because like
That population was getting scared. And they couldn't survive it long
the
enough.
people who were speaking out about that were more like pro-economy anyway, so it just kind of, and they're the ones in charge of the government, you know, like I'm saying, like conservative people are kind of in control of the government right now as a whole, and like that's kind of the side of the political spectrum that kind of supports, you know, reopening and stuff like that from an economic standpoint, just for that. So I don't even remember why I got on that track, but those are the people who are suffering, so I can see that side of the argument because of that. But, you know, there's clearly the other side. There's a pandemic.
There's a pandemic.
So that's rough to work around, you know. It's a dilemma.
It's
a really real dilemma.
And it's not something
that
you
we've
see
never
anywhere
faced.
else. Oh no, not in I mean, there's certain lifetimes of people who went through the Spanish flu, whenever Lyme disease was a big thing, if it ever was, and then not coronavirus. I mean, but the people who are in charge now haven't lived through something like this.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the first time like any of us have. Especially for us, it's like the first time any of
Oh
us have
yeah,
ever gotten.
like I remember swine flu was a thing, but it didn't like it wasn't like scary. It was like
I
a
got
bad
swine
cold.
flu.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I definitely did. I got it. In
I know
Disney
you
World.
def. Yeah, I know you told me that one. You doing all right over
Yeah,
there?
I think I might have died when I got it. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. You're just like dropping a lot.
No, I screwed the mic stand the wrong way, and it fell. But we got it fixed.
It's all good.
That was all on me.
Episode
But,
2, we didn't have to worry about 2 mic stands. And now,
Yeah, first episode we only had one mic stand. That was rough.
But now we're moving up in the world.
We're moving up in the world thanks to our man Lance behind the camera there, rocking and rolling. But yeah, so we talked about that a little bit last episode. You know, the like
Anti-mask
the,
movement?
the
That?
anti-mask movement. And
We
like
can't go on that tangent.
No. But just the fact that this whole situation that we're in as a world has been like politicized. Like,
100%.
It's
That there's always 2 sides to it.
right. It's and like you would think something like a pandemic
Should be something
would be
we
like
should be
the
able to
one
like,
thing
get
that could
together
unite
and
people.
figure out.
Right. Yeah, but people still seem to be able to find a way to like
Fight
get
about it.
pissed off at each other
Exactly.
for something to do with it, whether it be masks, whether it be how we like shut down or reopen, or you know, there's all these like little things that like it's like like the people in the government, like whether you love them or hate them, like no one has ever been through this before. like
No.
this is a first. Like we could have been
Literally.
prepared. There's preparation that could have been taken, and there's always the argument like people should have been better prepared. But it's like you can't like. I mean, you can be a mastermind in like studying pandemics, but like I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to see coming.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Well, Trump fired the like pandemic thing that Obama built in to one of the agencies, and he just like got rid of it, just like cut the funding, you know,
Before or after the
before the pandemic.
Really?
And then a year later,
yeah.
the pandemic happens. Like really.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's always that, but like just in general, I mean, you know, like you can't like. It's like a pop-up storm. Like you can kind of like track it and maybe expect it, but like.
See, we don't have good public programs for like the weakest in our country, so.
That is very
we
true.
just
Well, and that's yeah,
Can't
that's
handle an economic collapse.
right. Yeah, and we have a lower class that's not supported fully, but I don't know. Yeah, it's tough, and like there's a lot of people that I feel like could be helping that aren't, but I don't know. Just the fact that it's getting politicized is kind of. I mean, obviously there's things that could have been done, for sure. Like it's like obvious, but like the way it's being like it's done, like it's happened. Like you know, like it's the whole world. It's not just the United States of America that's suffering from it. Like it's every country in the entire. Not every country. There's a couple of countries that are doing okay, and we are the worst countries.
Are really doing bad.
Right. Okay. Well, there's only so many countries with like the population that it's like as, you know, dense, I guess, as like we're like one of the biggest countries in the world. Like I don't know what the top countries for like how bad it is. I think it's like United States, Italy, and like I'm not sure. I would
Talking
I would
present
guess,
day
I
or
would guess,
overall the entire pandemic?
Well, I mean just overall like. I'm talking like
I know
the amount of
Italy-
cases or something. Well, see, even measuring it in amount of cases, number of cases, is an inaccurate representation of how badly a country is being affected for 2 reasons. One, it's based on how how available, that's the word I'm looking for, how available testing is. So if testing is widely available for everyone who doesn't even have symptoms, if every person is able to go get tested, because of the nature of it, you're able to be non-symptomatic basically. So like I could go in tomorrow and like I could have it and have no idea and I would be testing positive, and that's another number. So that's one aspect. So countries, if you have more testing, and that's like an obvious one, like it's like duh, like if you have more testing you're gonna get more numbers, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's like that's a good thing that if you have higher numbers from that aspect, so you can track it. But also, the size of the country matters. Like, if you're comparing country A versus country B, and country A has 1 million people in it, and country B has 300,000 people living in it, and then you say country B has 200,000, or country A has 200,000 cases, which sounds horrible, and country B has only like 40,000. But country B only has 300,000 people living there, and country A has 100 or has 1 million.
Exactly.
And like it.
So you wonder if all the
factors like that like come into play where like numbers don't necessarily, you can put up a bunch of numbers all you want and like say like, oh look, like obviously like these countries have like way more cases, but like there's so many factors that come into it. Like, we're talking the entire world. Like, tracking something like a virus is like it's an exact science that I can't even come close to saying I know anything about at all. Absolutely
agree
nothing.
That statement.
But it's a science. Absolutely, you have to track it. But like, I mean, think about it. Like, there's people going around all day that aren't getting tested. There's people. I mean, like, I don't know. There's just so many variables that like you can't just like trust
Control.
the numbers. I feel like
100%.
You can't, to a certain point. Obviously, statistics are statistics, and statistics don't lie, but they can be misleading.
Agreed. I mean, we'll really never have that true number that everyone's always looking at.
We're never going to have the true number of cases or deaths.
No. That's what makes it the most scary part.
Exactly.
Like,
it is the reason it makes it the most scary.
One of us can literally have it and just never know.
Right. Yeah. And
then like literally everyone could have it.
Yeah. Like I could show no symptoms, feel pretty okay, and like go out on a limb and visit one of my older relatives and give it to them, and they get it really bad, and I had no idea that I had it just because like I like went to work at the restaurant today, and like I accidentally like touched something on a plate and touched my face before I was able to wash my hands, and then I went over to my grandma's place and like hung out with her for a little bit, and like that's just how it like spreads, and that is terrifying. It really, that I agree with Lance, like that really is like the creepy part about it, is that you can just be asymptomatic. How is that possible?
Can I put, it's not really a pin, it's sort of a tiny transition, but going off of the asymptomatic, do you know like the percentage of how many cases or stuff like that are asymptomatic?
I can't say that I do know.
What would you guess? Coming from the CDC themselves.
Well, I've heard that, I don't know, I've heard mixed things, but I would guess maybe 70%, maybe.
70%.
Asymptomatic?
Asymptomatic of all the cases, like...
Maybe.
You ready for this one?
Yeah.
80%.
Ooh.
80% of the confirmed cases for COVID are asymptomatic or mild infections. Only 15 are severe infections requiring oxygen, and 5% are critical infections requiring ventilation.
Right.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and that's like, I don't know. That's just like, I feel like...
The crazy thing is, too, like, there's asymptomatic people in every age range. Like, when it first came to Seattle, there was, like, a 109-year-old, like, grandmother who got the disease and had only a mild infection.
Yeah. Well, with the people that are at risk, like, I mean, again, I don't know anything about diseases, but, like, I feel like the risk is not in whether or not they get it, or, let me rephrase, like...
Take your time.
They... Fuck you.
Whoa. We need a swear jar for this show. That's how we're going to fund the rest of it.
Swear jar. Dang, you made me forget what I was even saying.
I'm sorry. You were about to go on a tangent about...
I wasn't going on any tangent.
You're about to roll on something.
I've moved on.
I'm sorry.
I'm tired of talking about the pandemic.
Yes.
It's crazy. We all know what's happening.
It's happening. Like,
everyone's heard enough about it.
I just want some new news out there. I just want something to look forward to.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
Like, as a college student too, like, we all know we're going back to have some form of online classes. I know a lot of people are still looking to have tailgates and even canceling some.
Yeah, that's another thing about it though. Yeah,
like,
tailgates and parties are gonna be crazy. Like, I don't know if a lot of them will happen.
Like, what you're gonna go? We're gonna graduate from college in the next 5 years. This will be blown and past. Will we be like, yeah, making jokes about it, or will we just be like numb to the fact that it happened and we just like push it off like a terrible memory?
It depends on how it
You
turns
feel?
out.
I mean, yeah, we're halfway through the year and it's been kind of a shithole. Not gonna lie.
It has, but it could either turn out really, really good, or it could turn out really,
Hopefully.
really bad. It could turn out either way. Like,
Sorry
I
for
really do
everybody.
feel like there's a strong, like, chance. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be extreme, though. I feel like there's no way, not just the pandemic, but just the current situation of the world. I feel like in the next 5 years are going to, like, I feel like 5 years in the future, 2025 is going to look very different from it. The way
You heard it
does
here
today.
first. You heard it here first.
Yeah, whether it's good or bad, I feel like it's going to be very weird and very different. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any ideas of anything to talk about?
I
Anything
mean,
that's been
I always
floating
got
around
ideas.
here,
Yeah, I mean,
talking?
we can talk about literally anything. This has been such a crazy week for just like content.
It has been a crazy week for content.
We've had.
We thought about talking about Jeffrey Epstein today. I think we have to.
We did.
I think we have to hold off on that.
We're gonna hold off on that topic because there's still a lot to unravel and a lot to happen.
Yeah, it's still juicy.
It's still
very juicy.
It is like getting ripe. It's almost ready to be picked from the tree.
So, yeah, look forward to that if you're listening. Stay tuned for a future episode covering the real life conspiracy theory that is Jeffrey Epstein.
Dude, there is a time, and I think we've been alive through, to where people were like, yeah, that's just a conspiracy, push it off.
Oh,
it's like
completely.
lizard people. It's not possible.
Yeah.
There's no way that's. And then here we have in 2020 proof.
Dude, literally proof that this dude had an island where famous and rich people just came and, like, did horrible things to children, like,
Yes.
and it's just been, like, under everyone's nose because they're, like, so elite in the financial realm, like, crazy. It literally makes me question all these other conspiracy. The fact that it's, like, playing out the way that it has, where, like, I mean, people are, like, getting killed, like Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Like, you know, that's, like, the whole thing, and, like, it makes me, like, think about other conspiracies so much. Like, that just seems like it's not real. Like, it doesn't seem like that would actually happen. Like,
It doesn't. But like, again,
yeah,
it's 2020.
right. Well, and that's what makes me think of, like, of other conspiracies. I mean, aliens. That's a clear
Yeah,
one.
the CIA releasing
Pentagon.
my bad, but releasing the classified documents of UFOs literally throughout the entire pandemic, like the big hype around the
Videos,
pandemic.
yeah, literally videos.
Physical videos and audio evidence of UFOs, and everyone just blew past it.
Yeah, no, like everyone literally just.
Yes, let's talk about aliens.
Acted like that didn't
That's
even
what we're
happen.
talking about. Aliens. No more pandemic. No more politics. Aliens.
If you haven't seen those videos,
You need to
yeah, ASAP.
pause right now. Go to YouTube. Type in. What would they have to type in?
Yeah, just type in Pentagon UFO videos. It's literally crazy. There's just like videos from Navy jet pilot. Oh my god!
Maybe
I just
Air
had a
Force.
stroke. I think.
Yeah, I think you did. You good? You need to
Is my face like drooping or anything?
a little bit, yeah.
Which, just one side?
All of it.
Well, it's all that. As long as it's the whole thing, that's fine.
It looks like a pretty even stroke.
God. An even stroke. I'm glad I'm having an even stroke versus an uneven stroke. I'm glad you thought that was funny.
It happened. Aliens.
Yeah, so literally videos from like pilot jet. It happened again when I tried to say it. They're Navy fighter jet pilots. And they were flying. There, I said it, you bastard.
Whoa.
You're egging me on.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
So they were
Too hard.
Navy fighter
It's too
jet
close
pilots.
to home.
Hey, man. That's not
Continue.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Navy party friendly
Yeah,
captures.
videos from them just flying over the ocean or flying wherever they're flying, and videos of UFOs, and they're like, "Oh my god, did you see that?" And like, there's one video where there's like
Why
a
is the
swarm
pilot
of them.
from like Hawaii and a total surfer, dude?
What?
Why was the pilot a surfer dude
That
from
was
Hawaii?
nice.
No, you're like, saw it.
Oh my god, there's aliens.
No. I swear to God,
Oh my god.
if surfer bros are the first people to meet aliens, we're all dead.
They probably are. They probably already have met.
No,
They probably already are. Yeah, I bet they have. Hippies have met aliens.
Oh,
for
100%.
sure.
Hippies, yet. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. 100,000%. No chance of that haven't.
I swear, Nevada's all just rich business people, Las Vegas, and then
Area
hippies.
Yeah, hippies. Yeah. Yeah.
if anyone's a Nevada listener, please feel free to share your input. Bless you, Lance.
Oh man, how much time are we at?
28.
Okay.
28, right? Let's keep it rolling.
How often are we doing the mac and cheese reviews?
I mean, I am
Do you
the.
have any mac and cheese?
We would have to cook it.
We'd have to take a pause and
It'd
a
take a minute.
cook.
But should we do it every? Should we do it every episode?
I'm saying every. I was saying
once a month?
bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
Because I know we want to go out there and actually
Wait a
ask.
second.
Yes, sir.
It's the mac and cheese show.
It is the mac and cheese show.
Mac and cheese show.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say.
That is a very valid point.
Should we take a mac and cheese break?
I mean, I'm not opposed.
We would have to cook a whole pot, because it's not like instant mac and cheese. It's like.
We could
real
eat a
mac and
whole
cheese.
pot.
I mean,
I'm the
we could.
lactose intolerant one, and I'll eat a whole pot, dude. I could pull it off. Yes, Lance, dead ass. I'm 100% lactose intolerant.
But it doesn't affect you that much.
It depends. Cheese is bad. Cheese is top tier terrible. I can sometimes do milk and
You
ice
gotta
cream.
Take, lactate.
I know,
before
I
you eat.
do. I also need to switch out my melatonin. I found out it is 10 milligrams, and
Yeah,
it
you
was
motherfucker.
knocking me out
Yeah,
cold.
that's why you can't wake up in the mornings, because you're taking 10 milligrams of melatonin and you've never taken it before.
The doctor
Yeah,
didn't say anything about the
you went
dosage.
to a doctor for melatonin?
No, I didn't. But he was like, "Hey, do you take any drugs?" I started taking melatonin, and he was like, "Okay, well, why is that?" I was
Well, it's
like,
because it's not gonna if you take 20 milligrams of melatonin, it's not gonna hurt you. You're just
"No,
gonna,
I was
you're just gonna go into a deep rest,
you'd be
a very deep
slumped.
rest for
You'd
a
be
very while.
absolutely slumped."
Yeah, I mean it's hard. That'll make you groggy. You just need 3 milligrams.
Thanks.
Start
Next
with
doc.
3. If 3 doesn't do anything, then do 5. If I need it, I'll do 12.
12. Damn.
That's the most I usually do. That's if I cannot sleep.
That's just crazy. You can get that just over the counter, and it's just
It's crazy. It's the opposite of serotonin.
yeah,
Literally. It is
shuts down the brain.
yeah, there's a bunch of molecules that are literally there's all sorts of. That's what actually note for any listeners. I'm a psychology major at Bellarmine. I'm into medicine and drugs
Nerd.
and the way they work in the brain. Just
Really
as
cool
a
nerd,
preamble to what I'm about to say. There's a few drugs that are being researched for treatment of depression and stuff like that. Specifically, one psilocybin. There's been all sorts of research.
I've read
done
about
on
this
it.
one. This one's crazy.
Yeah, there's been multiple studies done on it. The one that's really kind of mind blowing, just based purely on the numbers, is they did it. The reason I'm saying this, let me say this again. Psilocybin is extremely close to being this chemically, it's almost exactly the same shape as serotonin or melatonin.
Yeah.
It literally fits into
Same
your
chemical
serotonin.
compound.
Yeah, it fits into your serotonin receptors
buildup.
better than serotonin does actually, which is kind of another weird thing about it. But anyways, yeah, these psilocybin studies. Oh, we're raising up the. Oh yeah. Word. Did a quick mic adjustment. Here's the Lance.
Is the mic right there? Or
It's the one in the bottom.
Hey,
That's the Lance. quick camera. What was that? A quick cameo.
Mic stand
Cameo.
adjustment.
Mic stand adjustment cameo. But
We're
yeah.
getting there.
But yeah, the. So they did studies on smokers to where I can't remember, number of this size of the study or whatever, but they gave a pretty good dose of psilocybin to a bunch of smokers, and 80% of them quit smoking and didn't, like, a year later when they checked up on them, they still weren't smoking. 80%. And like something like nicotine gum is about like in the range of 30% effectiveness. 80%. Like
80%.
To get like smokers and nicotine, one of the most addictive drugs that we know of, it gets them off of it, and permanently, pretty much, as far as we know. Not permanently necessarily, we can't say that, but for at least a year.
An
for
effective
at least
amount.
A year. Yeah, and the way they do it is like for like 6 months or 6 to 9 months or whatever, leading up to the actual treatment. They do these like specialized therapy sessions to where they, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it's a therapy that's like designed around the psychedelic treatment or whatever, to where they do like the 6 months of therapy, and then they go into the doctor's office and they do a high dose of psilocybin, enough to, and this is interesting too, for it to be effective, the patient has to have a mystical experience. And so if they have a mystical like the people who had mystical experiences are the ones who like held on to like what they learned. It's the same thing for like, they did a study with cancer patients that were like terminally ill and they were gonna die, and they had like super bad end of life anxiety, and they gave a bunch of them psilocybin, and they like were like at peace with death after.
Yeah, this is a drug that's like getting ready to be like prescribed to people.
Yeah, it's in the process. I think it's in phase 2 of studies. MDMA is not a classic psychedelic. It's an entactogen, but like it works similarly as some psychedelics, and that is going to be used. I think the organization MAPS, they've been doing a bunch of studies on it for, I think, since like the 90s or something like that. But I think it's looking like it's going to be FDA approved like this year and next year. I'm sure it's like off now just because everything's out of whack schedule wise. And that cures PTSD. It's the same type of thing. You have a bunch of months of like therapy
100%.
sessions.
Yeah.
And then you have the session where you take it. And I think they said with the MDMA it took like 1 to 3 sessions depending on the person, but it literally changes your brain chemistry and structure to where you don't have PTSD anymore. It's not like taking a SSRI, which like covers up the symptoms and like makes you like your brain chemistry all out of whack and just kind of like makes you okay. Like it fixes the root of the problem to where you can like function like a normal human being
just
without
completely
being like
healed from it.
Right, without having this like shadow over your shoulder. You know,
That is crazy.
Like, yeah, it's game changing, and it's game changing because for the past 30 years in America,
it's never been
like,
heard of.
Yeah, no one like.
Someone would call you a crazy man.
Yeah, if I said like ecstasy heals PTSD, like, and if I said that to you in like 2000, you would think I was crazy. Like,
100%.
You wouldn't believe me. You might believe me if you've done it, but you know, like it's been stigmatized for so long just because it's illegal, and it's being studied now because people are like, you know, are being a little more open-minded and looking at it and realizing, oh, these things aren't causing issues like we thought they did. They aren't like hurting people, and they're actually kind of good for us, and they're useful if we use them in like a scientific manner, you know?
Yeah.
And it's end of life anxiety. Like, are you kidding me? Like it makes people like not afraid to die when they're dying of cancer.
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, you can't put. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you can see how effective that is and say psilocybin comes in mushrooms growing out of the ground, and I don't know how you can say that something that grows out of the ground that you can take and it heals your end of life anxiety when you're dying from cancer. I don't know how you can say that you're not allowed to have that. It just seems wrong. Like, it's like if you believe in God, like God put something on earth, like he put all the plants and the trees and all that for a reason. And like, if you say that something like that people talk about meeting God on, like, you know, if you say that something like that isn't like you're not allowed to have it, I think you're deriving people of a basic human right to like do what they want with themselves. They're not hurting themselves. It's not like taking heroin. and like
It's a natural grown thing. It is
it grows
earth
all
given
over the
to
world.
us.
Grows all over the world, and I'm not going to go into mushrooms right now, but the way that like the biology of how mushrooms in general, not just like magic mushrooms, but it's fascinating. Like mycelium basically like grows these like networks underground to where they can like sense the presence of where like other plants and like people and like places are. Like they like grow around them in certain forms to where they grow in like certain places. It's crazy. It's super crazy. But yeah, I don't know. It's natural. It changes people's lives, it seems like, according to the research thus far, anyways. I don't even know how we started talking about this. You got me talking on something I was interested in.
This whole episode has just been
me rambling.
Yeah. I mean, we've had some great content to talk about. It's been incredible.
Yeah, I'm a lot less tired this time than last episode when we filmed at 1 in the morning.
It is now currently not 1.
Yeah, it's 11:11 actually. Now that we check the time. Yeah,
beautiful.
For the episode.
Oh, there it goes.
Should we wrap it? Should we wrap it up?
What are we looking at, Lance?
Where are we at on the time?
You want to guess?
42.
44 and a half.
38:45.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
What's a Lance? What's this?
Luke is the winner.
Luke is the winner. He was way closer. Attaboy, Luke.
Thank you.
Pretty darn close.
Well, I guess for the last few minutes, like, well, actually, I had an idea of what we could talk about, and I immediately forgot what it was.
Beautiful. Okay. Well.
Should I sing a little jingle to take us out?
Yeah. Lance, do you have anything you want to say? Do you have any big things you've been thinking about recently? Any hot takes? Any hot takes? Here, hop in the sesh.
I'll get in the middle.
Yeah. Hop into the sesh.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Well, I've been all of a sudden collaborating with like these guys and 2 other people that I can't disclose right now, but like they're coming soon, so I'm really excited about that.
Tell them about full disclosure.
All right, so we got this band and we've played a couple gigs now since coronavirus. We played 2 gigs. They're both with the Forecastle Foundation, but I think it was a really good foundation for Forecastle.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm hyped.
Yeah, there were some really cool people there.
Yeah.
Well, Lance.
Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. We're going to get a camera on you one of these days so that you don't have to move couches. That way you can just hit a button back there and it'll be right on your face.
That'll be beautiful.
You'll be in full control. You'll be
absolutely beautiful.
Or I could just be in the middle of the couch, honestly.
You could be in the middle of the couch. That could be another option.
Mic or something. Actually, you know what? Luke and I could probably share that mic because that mic's a lot louder.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know.
That's an episode 3 kind of question.
That does sound like an episode 3 question. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in for episode 2.
Episode 2.
Mac and Cheese Show.
Episode 3, be prepared for some intense content. It's going to...
We're
going to follow the Jeffrey Epstein case and all that stuff that's been blowing up on social media. So with that, we won't be offended if you don't want to listen to what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be some mature content, and we'd appreciate it if you can just listen to what we got to say.
Absolutely. Until next time.
All our handles are Mac and Cheese. This is Luke.
This is Mason.
Thanks for watching. Listen. Both.
Happy Tuesday. It's not Tuesday.
It's not.
We gotta figure out when Tuesday is.
I don't think that one's copyrighted though. The Mac and Cheese Show is created by Luke Botica and Mason Beard. Audio recorded by Lance Oliphant. Music provided by RFM on YouTube. Music made by Sugiwa and Rexlambo.